Hi everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So, as I record this episode, it is the 1st of April, which effectively means that we have now entered the second quarter in the business calendar year. Now, for those of you who may be unaware of what it is I'm speaking about, the calendar year is divided into 4 equal quarters, 3 months per quarter, with the fourth quarter, that being the time between September and December, being the most important in terms of sales for effectively any online and retail brick and mortar businesses throughout the world. Now, because of this, the second quarter is relatively a slower time of the year, a little bit faster than the first quarter, that being from January until the end of March, obviously because there are events like Mother's Day and Easter that traditionally happen within the second quarter, but still not busy enough and hectic enough as the fourth quarter that will still allow us to do some very important work during this time when it's a little bit slower to get our shops ready for the holy grail of online sales. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing 5 pieces of advice. It's not going to be a very long episode. We're going to get straight to the point. But these 5 pieces of advice, which I'm going to share, I believe can really, truly help you get ready for the fourth quarter without feeling a lot of unnecessary strain and panic and tension and stress. So if you're ready to learn what these 5 pieces of advice are, stay tuned and here we go. So tip number 1 all pertains to whether or not you have your own website or whether you are just selling on print-on-demand platforms like Redbubble, TeePublic, and what have you. If you have your own website, now is the time to really dig deep into the nitty-gritty of your particular website, tweak it where it needs to be tweaking, fix anything that might, in terms of dead links, perhaps maybe speed up the process of your website by shrinking down the size of any photos that you might have on the website, just so that your website will load up a lot faster. In this day and age where people are really pressed for time and they don't want to stay waiting very long, maybe their patience thresholds are really low, websites that take a long time to load are usually those websites that people bounce off quickly, simply because of the fact they just don't have the time nor the desire to wait for websites to load up. So the best thing that I would obviously offer you to do if you have your own website is basically to go into it, act as if you are a customer, and just go through your website, see what loads up quickly, see what doesn't, check out what links might be dead or not working. Obviously ensure that all of the text that you have on your website, particularly for the e-commerce section of your website, is up to scratch. It makes sense, that people will be able to understand it and tweak where necessary. Because of the fact that we are in a relatively quieter time of the year, this is the time that you want to do it. You don't want to be finding yourself, obviously, at the beginning of September, basically just on the doorstep of the fourth quarter and still having to have to go through your website to tweak and improve upon it. With all the stuff that's going to be happening from September to December, it's going to be a very busy time of the year, and the last thing that you're going to want to do is obviously go through your website and tweak, and if something goes wrong, you're not going to have enough time to fix it, which means you might lose a lot of potential sales simply because of the fact that your website wasn't ready. Okay, tip number 2 is to go through your design listings and optimize them. Many of you know that I regularly hold Redbubble shop reviews, and through those reviews, I still come across a ton of listings that are not optimized. And, in truth, in not optimizing your listings, you're effectively leaving money on the table because of the fact that, there might be poor keywords, irrelevant keywords in the listings that don't even have a description in them, titles which are, generic or perhaps maybe don't have the appropriate keywords in them. Now is the time that you want to go through your listings and just basically take the top 25% of your bestsellers and maybe the bottom 25% of your portfolio and just go through those designs. Check all of the information. If you don't have a description, now's the time to put one in. And an effective description that can actually be utilized by Google and other search engines in terms of indexing your design on those search engine platforms. A lot of listings that I see are normally without any kind of description, and obviously that is to the detriment of the listing. Also, you want to make sure that your keyword tags are relevant to the design listing. And you know what? There's absolutely no hard and fast rule that says that you can't go back into a listing and change up your keyword tags. Perhaps maybe at the time when you were uploading that design, a certain batch of keyword tags obviously popped into your mind, which you utilize. But then through experience, through time, through uploading other designs and researching, you may come across other kinds of keyword tags or phrases that might be applicable and could be better than the ones that you've actually uploaded previously. There's no hard and fast rule which states that you cannot change them. And in changing them, you actually increase the possibility of being found and ranking higher in the various platform listings, and perhaps maybe that might be the catalyst for people to find your designs and click the add to cart button and make the purchase. Now, another thing you also want to do, now's the time to do it. As many of you know, certain platforms, particularly like Redbubble, last year in 2021, introduced a number of new products. And those products did not automatically activate on all of the designs in the Redbubble shops. The onus was on the seller to go into the back end and to actually activate their designs on those products. Now, I know it's not the most exciting thing to do, and probably you would prefer spending more time actually designing than going through the back end and activating those and making sure that they look good on those products. But in truth, in not doing so, you might be actually losing the potential for sales. Because if somebody is looking for a dad hat, a baseball cap, a mouse pad, or what have you, or any of the other products that were introduced, and they actually didn't find it, then the possibility of seeing wow, your design actually looks on the other products could effectively be, missing out on a potential sale. Upselling is always a really important thing with respect to any kind of sale. And if you actually activate your designs on these new products and people come to visit your shop for those activated products, but then through the description, you upsell them to consider a t-shirt, a throwover, a blanket, a pillow, or what have you, that might actually be the catalyst for getting them to go deeper into your shop and actually considering making the sale of that design on another product. Or else, in the best case scenario, checking out what else you have in your shop and actually consider purchasing any of the other designs on a product. But if you don't activate them, if you don't optimize your account for these particular products, then you'll never know if you could have made a sale because they weren't activated. So now is the time. Grab those 25% of your top-end designs, the bottom 25% of your artistic portfolio, and check them out and tweak them accordingly. Then if you have time and you want to go through your others, by all means do so. I'm just throwing 25% off as a number for you to consider. You could do more, you could do less. However, or how many you want to obviously tweak or optimize for is totally up to you. But if you haven't done these things, if you have designs that fall into this category, into this bracket, then I want to highly encourage you to take the time now and go through and actually tweak them and optimize those designs. Okay, tip number 3. I want you to go into your favorite social media platforms that you upload to, and I want you to navigate to the time between October and December and check out the social media posts that you uploaded pertaining to your online shop. What posts did you utilize and create and upload to try and drive traffic to your particular online shop? And then I want you to go and take a look at those vanity metrics, the likes, the shares, the comments, and see which of those designs really resonated with people who are following you on those print-on-demand platforms. Those are the ones that you want to deeply analyze and see what you can do to try to emulate and perhaps maybe even improve upon for the coming fourth quarter. Then obviously the ones that didn't do well, I also want you to analyze those too as well. Don't put them on the back end. Try to figure out what didn't work. What didn't actually resonate with the people who are following you? Was it too text heavy? Did it not have enough text? Did you put any information in the post to accompany the graphic? Or did you put too much of it? Okay. Try to take a look at all of those things and see, okay, if you had to repeat those particular styles of posting, what would you do in order to change them to make them better so that people would resonate with them? And then I want to invite you to take those social media posts, download them if you don't already have them saved in a folder, and put them in a folder for you to be able to refer to. And during this time of the year, I want you to start creating social media posts for the designs that you are actually currently creating in the here and now. Why? Because if you just post designs and you upload them, and then in the hopes that you're going to market them in the fourth quarter, the chances of you trying to remember all of the designs that you created during this time period and the whole emotional resonance and the logic behind the creation of those designs is going to be lost to you. But if you do it in the here and now, create those particular social media posts and then put them away in a folder to be used when the fourth quarter comes, then you're not going to be stressed, you're not going to be panicked, you're not going to feel a lot of tension in terms of what you need to post, because you're going to have that resource of posts already ready that you can just obviously stagger onto the social media platforms that you are obviously contributing to. And that way, you're always going to be in the eyes and in the minds of people who are following you. And the fact that they see these designs during the fourth quarter in terms of your posting might be all that's needed for them to say, oh yeah, I really like that design. Let me visit the shop and see what that seller is selling it on. Maybe it's a mug, maybe it's a t-shirt, maybe it's a throw pillow or a blanket or what have you, or a duvet cover, or one of the high-ticket items. But the fact that you would have had that post ready that you can utilize is a great resource to have to helping you be more efficient, to obviously speed up the process of your post, and always to have something to post for people to be able to see. Okay? So don't leave your social media posts for the last minute to create, because you'll just find yourself falling behind, and the tension and the stress will grow, and probably your creative juices will be flowing in the negative way, and you won't be coming up with those great posts that I know that you could probably create. But do it now when you're a little bit more calmer, when you're a little bit more relaxed, so that way your creative juices will flow and you'll be able to really come up with some really great social media posts for the fourth quarter. Okay, now the fourth actionable post is, I want to invite you to start creating designs for the fourth quarter now. A lot of you, particularly those of you who are new to the print-on-demand industry, tend to wait till maybe about 4 or 5 weeks before an event is going to start and start creating your designs there and then. And your time window for actually getting your designs up and uploaded shrinks with every passing day. And the chances of making a sale continues to shrink even more. So what I want to invite you to do is, given the fact that we know that events like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, even New Year's are really big sellers during the business calendar year in the fourth quarter, why not actually start thinking about designing for those events now, so that when the time comes for you to be able to upload them, say end of August, beginning of September, you'll have all of your designs ready, you'll have all of the keywords and the tags and the descriptions ready, and then it's just a question of uploading and copying and pasting all your tags, descriptions, and what have you onto your listings, and you can actually enjoy the process and really come through with a lot of great designs for your customer base, because again, you're going to be a lot more relaxed. And this is not to say that you're going to be ignoring any of the events and holidays that happen in the second quarter. Far be it. But given the fact that, let's put it this way, the bulk of online sales happen during the fourth quarter, you might want to consider doubling down, particularly if you're new to the print on demand, and go in with all of the chips on the table for the fourth quarter, so you can actually start really seeing sales come in. This is the time that you want to plan, you want to actually design for the fourth quarter, so that you'll have everything nice, laid out and ready in organized folders on your computer, on your tablet, or whatever device that you use to create your designs. And that way you can upload them and enjoy the process. And hopefully, if you've really spent enough time during this time period to really create any funny or emotionally charged designs, people are going to resonate with them, and obviously they'll be more prone to the idea of clicking the add to cart button. And another important thing to keep in mind is that you'll get a jump start ahead of your competition, because you'll have all your designs already laid out and ready for you to upload. When people are starting to consider designing in late August, early September, and still have to go through the process of researching and uploading and whatnot, you'll already start to have your designs up. And those early bird shoppers who like to get their Christmas shopping done early, or want to get something for Halloween or any of the other events, they're going to be seeing your designs up first above all of the other people who are designing and uploading on Redbubble or any of the other print-on-demand platforms. So that will be a feather in your cap. Do take that into consideration. Don't leave that out. Start planning from the here and now. Again, we're a short 6 months away from the fourth quarter, and that time is going to fly. Okay, so the fifth and final piece of advice that I want to provide you today is to expect the unexpected. Now, with all of the most efficient preparation that you will put into practice from the here and now, from today onwards, there's always going to be something that comes up. The fourth quarter is a hectic time of the year, and not everything is going to go according to plan. Some things are going to really do well, and other things are just going to fall flat on its face and actually be a dud. But that's okay. That's part and parcel of the business. That happens in all forms of business. We can't tell what the future holds. Nor can we decide or either determine what people are going to buy or what's going to resonate with them and what isn't going to resonate with them and what they're not going to buy. Okay? But what you can do is if something goes belly up in anything that you plan, do not get angry. Do not get panicked. Do not get frustrated. Instead, take note of what it is that did not go well. Take note of what went belly up. And then when the dust settles in January, when we find ourselves back in the first quarter of the following year, that will be the time that you can actually go back and analyze without having all of that emotional baggage on your back pertaining to why things didn't work. And you can actually stop and analyze what went wrong so that you can actually prepare more efficiently and with a better mindset for the following fourth quarter. It's something that happens year in, year out. It's something that I do, and a lot of really great entrepreneurs, a lot of great, online sellers, in whatever niche that they might be selling, do actually put this into practice. This game is not only about designing and uploading, it's also about analyzing what worked and what didn't so that we can try to get a better understanding, a better feel, a better emotional or logical resonance in the future for when we come to create new designs, to create new social media marketing posts or what have you, in the hopes of driving more traffic to our respective shops. So there you have it. Those are my 5 bits of advice that I believe each and every print-on-demand seller who's really serious about their print-on-demand business should be taking into account right now in the second quarter, so that obviously things will go a lot smoother during the fourth quarter. Throughout the remainder of this year, you're planning, you're building, and you're getting things ready for the biggest time of the business calendar. So if you enjoyed this episode and you found value in the tips that I actually offered today, please don't forget to click the like button. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please smash that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload a new video to my channel. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more ways that you can take your print-on-demand business to the next level, why don't you check out one of these 2 episodes I have over here. And don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.